Okay, what's going on, Lid app? We're still at home. I hope you guys are staying warm. Make sure that you're doing all you can to stay safe. Hopefully, your families aren't dealing with any kind of pipes bursting or anything like that. But just know that Coach Smith is really thinking about y'all, and I hope you're doing well. For those of you who are doing well and you need something to do, like your schoolwork, today hopefully is really good. I haven't assigned anything new other than fluency today. So you can get on here, spend 15, 25 minutes looking at this passage again, expanding your vocabulary, and then have fun the rest of the day. That's fine with me. We want to make sure that you're learning, that you're staying up to date, but obviously we don't want to overload you. I know there's a lot of you who may be dealing with other things during this snowstorm, and so most importantly, we hope you're safe. So, without further ado, I'm going to read for the third time from our passage, and then we're going to talk about our words in blue today for word study. And you're simply just going to find the definition to these words. I'll try to give you some in my own words, definitions based on the context. So, we'll talk a little bit about context. And maybe you've seen some of these words before, and so that helps. But let's get started. Snow has the same origin as rain. It comes from vapor in the atmosphere, especially from vapor rising from the surface of the sea. When a sudden cooling off takes place in clouds at a high elevation, the condensation of vapor is immediately followed by freezing, which turns water into ice. I have already told you that cirrus clouds, which are the highest of all clouds and hence more exposed to cold than others, are composed of extremely fine needles of ice. Lower clouds, too, if subjected to a sufficient degree of cold, undergo the same transformation. Then there follows a symmetrical grouping of adjacent needles and delicate six-pointed stars, which, in greater or less numbers and heaped together at random, make a snowflake. Soon afterward, when it has grown too heavy to float in the air, the flake falls to the ground. Examine attentively one that has just fallen on the dark background of your sleeve or end cap. You will see a mass of beautiful little starry crystals, so graceful in form, so delicate structure, that the most skillful fingers could never hope to make anything like them. These exquisite formations, which put to shame our poor human artistry, have nevertheless sprung from the haphazard mingling of cloud masses. Such then is the nature of snow, the schoolboy's favorite plaything. From a somber and silent sky it falls softly, almost perpendicularly. The eye follows it in its fall. Above, in the gray depths, it looks like the confused whirling of a swarm of white insects. Below, it resembles a shower of down, each flake turning round and round and reaching the ground only after considerable hesitation. If the snowfall continues thus for a little while, everything will be hidden under a sheet of dazzling whiteness. Okay, so that's our passage. Hopefully you're noticing where I'm pausing, how phrases go together. And just remember today we want to focus on expression. So where can we express ourselves here? Especially when we're looking at the descriptions. So examples of each time we're describing these snowflakes and some of the words that we used, pausing or maybe making sure we're speaking and enunciating some of these big words that have lots of syllables, like nevertheless, or words like haphazard, haphazard, right? Or compound words. So we might have some expression in some of these big words because the goal, and I don't know if you've noticed, but the purpose of this passage is to talk about snowfall, but not just, oh, hey, it's snowing, it's white, but it's to describe snow in almost an artistic way, right? We're talking about the geometry of snow and the origin of snow and the beauty of snow and you have 4 paragraphs that are all about white stuff falling from the sky, right? So lots of these larger words with multiple syllables are designed to kind of create an emotion of not only information, but to emphasize how beautiful and how unique snowfall can be. Okay. So our words in blue today are the ones that we're focusing on, and we're just going to define them. So you can look up these definitions, simple as that, and find out what these words really mean. Some of you may know what some of them mean. For example, origin. Like if you ever heard the word original, it means the first or so origin is like the start or where things come from. There's a video game called Assassin's Creed Origins, and it talks about where this Assassin's Guild started from. You know, I used to play Assassin's Creed video games, and that's the whole point of that. Is just kind of the beginning. That's a good way to put it. So snow has the same beginning as rain, is what that phrase is saying. Sufficient. So sufficient would be enough. Is a good synonym for sufficient. What you need, right? If I have, if my work is sufficient, then it's good enough. It got the job done. If it's enough. So if subjected to a sufficient degree of cold, if it's cold enough, it will snow. If it's not cold enough, it won't snow. Or in Arkansas, a lot of times we say if it's cold enough, it will stick, because it's a lot of times it's been warmer beforehand, and then it snows and the snow doesn't stick, so we don't really get to enjoy it. That's not the case over the past week, but sufficient is like saying enough or good enough. And then heaped. So heaped is a past tense form of the word heap. And so heap can be a noun or a verb. If I say to heap, it might be to make a heap, which is basically a mound or a group, a large group of, I could have a heap of dirt or a heap of snow or a heap of money. That'd be sweet. Right? Or a heap of chocolates that are left over for Valentine's Day because no one could go to the store and buy them after Valentine's Day for super cheap. So there's all this chocolate left over, and I don't know. I'm making stuff up now. But heaped together would be past tense, so they've come together already in this pile or group, right? So, and a heap doesn't really have like structure to it. So it's not like a tower. It's not like a pyramid. It's just like a pile. Okay. And then last word, from a somber and silent sky, it falls softly. Well, you have 2 words that describe it. So the word silent gives us some context here to what somber might mean. They're paired together, and the sky is both somber and silent. So you could kind of gather some understanding of what somber might mean. So peaceful, maybe, is a good way to describe it. If you go outside right now or open your door and stick your head out and you just listen, I bet you it's a lot more quiet than normal, unless there's like a power outage and there are companies out there trying to fix it. But I noticed at my house, it's very somber outside because lots of times when it's snowing, it's really cold and honestly kind of dangerous. So people don't go out. They don't get on the roads. And all you hear is like the nature surrounding your home. And a lot of times when the snow is falling, it is quieter and somber. So anyway, hopefully you guys can define these 4 words and enjoy reading. Again, today, if you'd like, you can record yourself and listen to yourself read. You might learn a lot about some things that you may not notice, and then obviously read it again. I'd love you to read it once or twice. Remember, we're focusing on expression, so we want to draw out those big words, enunciate our syllables, so that those kind of that atmosphere of kind of capturing the intricacy, which means like all the little details of snowfall, is what this paragraph is really showing us. So we want to do that by using these larger words correctly and enunciating each syllable and emphasizing those big descriptive moments of the snow. So anyway, have a great day. Tomorrow is Friday, which is an awesome day. I doubt we're back in school, and I'll most likely see you on Monday because it's snowing outside right now, actually, in my house at least. So anyway, I miss you guys. Looking forward to seeing you, but stay warm, stay safe, and enjoy some reading today.